Harvard and Yale getting started with the men's action in the Ivy League Sevens tournament. We've gone through all of the women's action, both the club and the varsity play to get things started here today. There was one game over on the second field. Columbia and Cornell have not gotten the result of that one yet, but Yale defeated Penn 17-15, Dartmouth over Princeton 29-0, and Harvard over Brown 38-0. So as we get started in men's play, the Harvard Crimson in the black jerseys with the Harvard shield on the front versus the Yale Bulldogs, the white jerseys and navy blue sleeves and shorts. Harvard starting with Steve Danica, Ryan Santos, Tom Nakata, Daniel Podolico, Pierce O'Donnell, Jordan Mubako, and Sebastian Schwartz. Crimson coached by Mike Diamatopoulos, and Yale coached by Greg McWilliams. Harvard is going right to left as they pick it up here. Nakata lost it, picked up by Kevin Gallagher. And a knock on here. Sets up a scrum. Yale will get to insert it. Minute 15 into half number one between Harvard and Yale. In all quick moving play, 7-minute halves, so 14-minute total games with running clock. And just a couple of minutes in between contests here. We have been staying right on schedule. This one getting started at 10 a.m. Next game will be Brown and Dartmouth 2. Again, Princeton does not have their men's team here. The women are here. And they have taken one loss to Dartmouth so far today. But the Princeton men had another event that they had previously committed to host as Steve Danica had some room, able to get rid of it, and now Jordan Mubako, room on the outside. He gets across, and he touches down for a Harvard try. So Jordan Mubako on the board first for the Harvard Crimson. Bit of a tough angle attempt on the conversion. Just inside the 5-meter line. Come way out to about 25. It came at about the 4.5-minute mark left in the first half, with Harvard getting on the board. It appears as though it's Ryan Santos taking the kick. Gets a good boot on it, but just misses wide left. So that keeps it at 5-0, Harvard on top of Yale in the first men's game of the day here at Mignone Field. Jordan Mubako, one of several international players on this Crimson side. Yale picks it up. They start the action here, and a long kick forward. And that is bouncing into touch. Harvard will get it back. See a lot more spacing. Seems like faster action so far in the men's game. After the first 3 contests of the day were on the women's side. 2 club games followed by 2 varsity games. One of those club games being at 9 a.m. At the same time, Yale and Penn was happening here. Again, haven't gotten the score of Columbia-Cornell. I've seen 2 shutouts so far, Dartmouth blanking Princeton and Harvard blanking Brown. Right now, Harvard on top of Yale 5-0 as we are well past halfway through the first half. Brown and Dartmouth 2. will be the second men's game that'll follow this one, scheduled to start at 10:20. Following that will be more women's action. Sorry, we'll have Columbia and Cornell still on the men's side before we get back to the women. Now up on the far side of the field, Santos with a quick toss back, and here's plenty of room to get back inside the goalposts before it's touched down. That was Sebastian Schwartz for the Crimson. At the moment, that makes it 10-0. But again, Santos is ready for the kick. This one is a much more straight-on kick. He just went out to 5 meters and booted it straight through the uprights. So an easy conversion for Santos. And Harvard is on top, 12-0. See if the Harvard can make it 3 straight shutouts here. Kicked away by Harvard. Yale fields it, now looking for some open space on the field. Nearly breaking through there, Henry Large for Yale. Harvard is able to take it back. Over to Mubako, quick spin around, passed it to Santos, finding space near side. Danica, he gets away from a tackler across the try line, touches down, and Harvard extends the lead. This time it's Danica. As Santos gets a fresh ball, and he'll restart. 17-0, Harvard on top of Yale in his first men's game of the Ivy Sevens tournament. High spinning kick, fielded cleanly by Jarrett Balter. He was brought to the ground pretty quickly. Went in now, another tackle by Harvard. Ball loosened up by Yale, looking for a hole to run through. Now a pass nearly intercepted, but tipped up, and Balter is able to recover for Yale. Now Samar Chada, he works his way through. Balter again. Gets across the hash. Now Large. He's brought down. Brought back. And rolled forward. But the official will stop play and say, no, you couldn't restart so quickly there. Dan Marsh had the restart. Now a quick hook pass back around. Santos picks it up on a missed pass by Yale. Santos doesn't have a whole lot of help, but he has space. Down the sideline, plenty of room to make his way in between the goalposts and set up an easy conversion for himself. Gets around, touches down right in the center, makes it 22-0 at the moment, and he'll set up at 5 and take the kick himself. Both teams already getting set for halftime. We'll go there in just a moment after this kick, and we'll see if Santos can, in fact, complete the conversion. He's ready, a half step forward, boots it through, and it's 24-0. Santos converts on his own try. And that brings us to halftime. We'll step aside for just a moment on the Ivy League on ESPN.
I was born the middle child of Asian immigrants. I've always loved playing the drums. I was an editor of my high school newspaper. And I got a summer internship working for a senator. Academics have always been important to me. I graduated from Harvard with a major in economics and a minor in sociology. Harvard's an amazing place that let me explore everything. And a place where I learned I could become anything. An economist, a politician, or even a professional basketball player. My name is Jeremy, and I'm class of 2010.
There are a lot of choices for watches out there today. I built this company for myself because I wanted a high quality, elegant timepiece at a fair price with just my alma mater's logo on it. All of our components come from Switzerland. We have an open back case so you can see the movement. We only use Sellita movements, just like the big boys, and we have them assembled right in La Chaux de France, in the watch capital of the world. You don't need a watch to tell time anymore, but this is a subtle reminder of some of the best days of your life.
Back in action, ready for the second half between the Harvard Crimson and Yale Bulldogs. All Harvard in the first half, 24-0. The Crimson lead over the Bulldogs as we get set for Yale to kick it off in the second. Harvard coming off of a bit of a rebuilding season in their 15s campaign. Ended up finishing fourth, had been towards the top of the league, finishing second over the last 3 years. Dartmouth, 11-time champions in 15s, 11-time reigning champions. They've really been dominant. Harvard establishing their place behind them the last few years until this 2018 season. Looking over to the near side, Mubako, one of the first-year players, able to break through a tackle. Now back to the middle of the field. Mubako gets rid of it. A quick pass, and Pierce O'Donnell has plenty of room. What a play for the Harvard Crimson. Mubako finding his own space, then had his teammate O'Donnell there to finish the job. So O'Donnell makes it, for the moment, 29-0. Head coach Mike Diamantopoulos talked about taking this 7th season to use it as an opportunity to develop some young freshman players. As we saw the conversion good there, nice and easy for the Crimson. And it is 31-0 as Harvard kicks it away to Yale. And we've seen some exciting plays from first-year players already. Ryan Santos with a big breakaway try. He's got a few kicks today as well. Mubako with an electric play there, getting helped out by Pierce O'Donnell, the junior. Did see Mubako score the first try of the game for Harvard. One of many international players for Harvard. Ryan Santos, we mentioned a few times, from the Philippines. Jason Stein and Robbie Wadalov from South Africa. Tom Nakata has been involved in the play from Japan. Dan Politaiko from Scotland. And Jordan Mubako from Zimbabwe. Mubako probably could have finished that last play himself. Now O'Donnell goes through, finds a hole in the line, closes up quickly. Yale brings him to the ground. A foul here, and it goes right back to Yale. They restart it immediately. Not a whole lot of help, though. Have to pass it back. Now looking for a hole. Mubako. Good defensive play. And Mubako will be brought a little bit further back. He was quick on the restart and started a little bit too far ahead. Actually was trying to get it right back into play, and now a line out. It's going to be inserted by Harvard's Spencer Carter. Carter gets it right back. Now the long pass back. Spun away again to O'Donnell. Quick stop now to Mubako, far side of the field. Gets through. Blazes through two defenders. One to beat now. Got past the hand, and then a diving attempt at the shoelaces. Mubako turns, looks back at the whole field before he touches down, and that makes it 36-0. And now we will see Daniel Politaiko come on for the kick. He drops it down, kicks it through, and it is 38-0. So all Harvard here again. The Harvard women in the last game beat Brown 38-0. That's the current score with the Harvard men over Yale. As the ball bounces into touch, over to the Harvard bench. There's 2:30 left to go in this one. See if Yale can get on the board or if Harvard can extend the lead. Bulldogs will restart. Across the line, quick pass over for Yale, but they lose it right away. They try to get it to Boris Epi. Spun back now, room forward. O'Donnell has one man to beat. He jukes around. It was Dan Marsh, the last opportunity for the Bulldogs, and Pierce O'Donnell scores his second try of the day. Touches down at the back of the try zone, and it is now 43-0. Again, Politaika has the kick. Was in great position. 45-0. We saw Ryan Santos with the first three kick attempts, with the first four, converted on two of those. Now Politaika is 3 for 3 in this second half. He's been pretty straight on with all of his kicks. Has not really had any big challenges, as the two that Santos was unable to convert on. Really tough angles. Now a big takeaway for the Crimson. They try and move forward. There was a little bit of room there for Alex Green, but he got pushed backwards. Now Harvard gives it up, and with a foul, Yale will have to wait and restart. 40 seconds on the clock. Harvard leading 45-0. Really been all Crimson. Yale hasn't had too many opportunities, haven't gotten across midfield on either side, really. It's going to be Spencer Carter getting the ball back in play on the scrum for the Crimson. He goes back behind, picks it up. Back to midfield. Now O'Donnell spins around, hands it off to Politaika. O'Donnell now, a little bit of room again. He hangs on to it. Horn is sounded, so next stoppage will be the end of the game. Dan Rodriguez now with it. He is trying to go through a couple defenders, tosses it back. Ball hits the ground. Carter picks it up, and they call a knock on there. That will do it. 45-0, Harvard over Yale, the first men's game of the day. Next one, Brown and Dartmouth coming up next on the Ivy League on ESPN.
And that's a final. It's the score 145-0. Next up.